here's the thing, small RVs don't have to feel small, right? And this Class B right here is the perfect example of that. This is the Jayco Swift 20T. And the thing I really like about this one is just the fact it's just wide open. I mean, take a look at this. We have this huge open floor plan. I mean, this thing is perfect for two, but it also has space for guests, right? I mean, this right here makes into a bed, right? It's nice and easy. Basically, you have this system right here, and I can't do it currently because I have a table, but this just slides over, connects right here. Take this cushion, throw it on top, and boom, there's your bed. Super simple and easy to make up. And in a Class B, I'm a big advocate of making a bed be simple. And that's exactly what it is in here. But the cool thing about this is you have enough seating that if you want to bring friends along, if you want to entertain, if you want to sit in here and just hang out, you can absolutely do that. Now you have the table right here. This is the Lagoon table system. So this does swivel out and around. You can kind of put it wherever you want. You can flip it this way so it's running, you know, kind of across the aisle here if you want. Just giving you a little bit of flexibility. And the cool thing about that is not only can it go right there, but if we shift over to here, you can see that it goes here as well. You also have a cup holder, but why here? Well, I mean, I guess a few different things. If you want a table that you can, you know, swing outside, you can have that. So if you have like some chairs and stuff here and you want like a little serving table, you can set that up there, which I think is pretty cool. But the main reason is because you can flip around this passenger seat and now you have an extra workstation. Because both of these swivel, it does give you that extra utilization of space here in the cab, so it's not going to be wasted. Now, speaking of this cab, let's hit this real quick. I don't want to spend too much time up here because it's a ProMaster chassis, and if you've seen one, you basically have seen them all. But you have window control over to the side, you have your Bluetooth control here, as well as your cruise control in the steering wheel. You can see the center dash is located right there. You also have USB ports, both A and C, as well as 12 volt and 120. You have wireless charging here for your cell phone, and right down below are 3 additional cup holders. Now, right up top, you'll get a little bit of extra storage there, but the neat thing about the ProMaster is you also have storage up here. Now, the ProMaster chassis is going to be front-wheel drive, which means it does perform a little bit better, in my opinion, in snow than, say, like the Ford Transit, unless we're talking all-wheel drive, and that's a whole different story. But because of the front wheel versus rear wheel, it does give you a little bit better control. Also, the chassis sits up really high. If you've never sat in a ProMaster, you feel like you're really high, which is great when driving. And again, super simple and easy to drive, which is one of the reasons so many people love Class Bs. Now, coming around over to this side, let's talk kitchen a little bit, because to be an RV, you have to have a functional kitchen, and this one certainly has it. So you have a plumbed sink here, stainless steel. I like how they put the faucet off to the side rather than in the back. That way, it allows them to push this back a little bit, right, instead of being so far forward. Just gives you a little bit more space here. And then over to the side, it allows this to line up really nice. This, of course, being your 2-burner cooktop, but with the glass cover, it allows you to utilize this as prep space. So it actually is decent kitchen space. Personally, I'd probably get a cover for the sink just so you can utilize that as space as well if you're not using the faucet. But either way, again, as I mentioned, pretty decent space there. Then you have the window right behind, letting in a lot of natural light. I mean, that's the great thing about this coach, is not only do you have like light cabinets and light furniture in here to make it nice and bright, but you also have a ton of windows and everything opens up. I mean, man, it lets in so much light in this coach. Again, helping with the fact that even though it's not super big because it's a Class B, it feels large, it feels open. As far as some of your storage, we can see a drawer right up top here. We're going to have this little drop down over to this side. The Norcold fridge right here. Over to this side is our convection microwave. And then we have a few other drawers right down underneath. Open this guy up too, there you go. And of course, as you'd expect, this one does have a privacy screen for across the front. A little bit of extra privacy there. The other thing, if you want some privacy, is the fact you have MCD shades, the roller shades. Now, the thing I really like about these is the fact they went with beige instead of black. So again, it feels light. Even in the day when you close these down, while it definitely blocks out a lot of light and makes it a little bit darker, well, significantly darker. But if it's nighttime and you have the lights on and all these are closed, it doesn't feel nearly as closed in and claustrophobic because everything in here is so bright. If we go up top, you'll see the two-tone cabinets, kind of like the European style, right? What I mean by that is not just the two-tone itself, but how they actually have a curve to them. You know, I really do like that. I think it adds a lot aesthetically. And then again, having the two-tone I think helps a lot too. And then you can see that they have the latch mechanism on here to make sure that they stay closed while in transit. But that kind of gives you a little bit of idea of some of the storage you're working with. I'll just open up a few more here. Again, just to kind of give you some kind of idea of your upper cabinet depth. Now, if we take a look up top, there's going to be a few things. You have your Dometic 14-inch fan here, so nice, powerful fan. So whether you have, you know, the door open and the screen closed, or you open up a few different windows, you can turn that on, get a really good breeze going through there. And then right here is also going to be your AC. Nice and easy to use. We have ductwork right here. Just open those bad boys up, cool everything off here nice and quick in the event that, you know, you have shore power or you have the ability to run the generator and you really need to cool it down, you can use that. Otherwise, again, this guy right here does a pretty good job of keeping things fairly cool. The other thing I like about this side, this side of the bed. So this is something that Jayco did that I think is really smart, but if I move these cushions here, I can lift this up, and what you'll see is I have this bed system underneath, kind of like I have on the other side. Now, a few things. One thing I want to point out why I like these, and actually I wish every RV would have these. They're very common in Class Bs, but I don't see them in a lot of other RVs, and I wish I would, because this also helps not only be more comfortable, but it also helps airflow underneath the bed, so it helps prevent any kind of mold underneath the mattress or on the wood itself. So that's pretty great. But what I really wanted to show you here is this. The fact that this lifts up and locks in place to allow for access. So now if I need to access anything, look at that. I can lift this up, boom, now I have access to the water pump. So if I need to change out the water pump, I can do it, right? Come right back here. Boom, there it is. I have more access right in here. Like basically everything that you need, you have access to here. And so I really like that they put that in there. I haven't seen a lot of other manufacturers do that. And I personally just think it is really smart. This one does have the electrical outlet in it right up there. We can see again, just more storage kind of going all the way across the top here. Same thing over to this side. Now right back here, you're gonna have a few different systems. One of them is going to be the Truma. So that will be for your furnace as well as your water heater, kind of all in one. Truma is a great system. Then over to the side, I really like this too. So this is going to be a lot of your light controls as well as your awning. But here's what I like, and a lot of people don't know you can do this. This panel actually, boop, comes off the wall, right? The neat thing about this though is I can actually take this panel outside and I can open up the awning. So if I, am in a tight site, which I'm not currently, as you can see, I have plenty of room, but let's say I want to open that up, I can hit the button, and as you can see, the awning is opening. So this is super handy. A lot of people I don't think realize that you can actually do that with this system. But again, I like the fact that I can be out here, make that happen. If I want to turn the awning light on, right? I probably can't really see it, but I can do that as well. I like the fact that it is portable. I just think that makes it a really cool system. Okay, let's kind of come around the outside, talk a little bit about what we have here. As I said, this one is on the ProMaster chassis. That is going to be front wheel drive. You have a couple almost like steps built in to the side right here. It's not as big as what we see on like a Mercedes, but if you needed to use that to be able to step up and clean off the windshields, this one's pretty dirty, probably something you'd want to do. You can kind of utilize that. Coming around to the side here, we will see the running boards, making it nice and easy to get into the coach itself, as well as the passenger side. We'll have a little bit smaller one on the driver's side, simply because we don't have the main entry point. As I mentioned, I don't know if I didn't really show it off, but this one does have a screen here for the side door, which I like. So all you have to do is undo these clips. You have a zipper up top. You can zip them, and then they'll just meet right in the middle. You will also see that you have this grab handle, so you can utilize that to make it a little bit easier to get in and out of the coach, just because it is a little bit of a step. And I should also probably point out you have a battery disconnect right down here. It's going to be your main power, and then a fire extinguisher there too. Now, that Thule awning, once it is fully extended, you do want to take the arms and lock them in place just to help solidify it, because on its own, when it kind of sits out like that, it's not really meant to sit out that far. And if you get a wind, it's going to bounce around really bad. So I do strongly recommend attaching them to the side of the coach. Electrical outlet is going to be right out here too. So if you need to hook anything up, you have the capability to do that. Dropping down a little bit, you will see right there, you have a spot for your sewer hose. I don't know if it's picking up on camera. It's kind of dark because of shadows, but it's right there. So you have a spot for the sewer hose. Neat thing about this one is this one does have both a black and gray tank. So a lot of times in a Class B, it'll have a cassette toilet, but that's not the case here. You do have a black tank. You can see the valve body for both of those, black and gray. And then you can see the toilet right back here. Now, as for the rest of it here, you have a hitch. Then over to the side is going to be your flat 4. Here on the other side is going to be your 7-pin. So whether you have a boat, a car, or a trailer, this one can tow all of them. Assuming, of course, you're within your weight limits there. Now, both of these back doors are opened up. You can see you have a little bit of netting back here for a little bit of additional storage. This one also has your toilet paper holder. Now, you'll see this is covered. That's in the event it gets wet. And then obviously when it's shut, it's really right there, really easy access to the toilet. And theoretically, it shouldn't be getting too wet because you have this curtain that you can wrap all the way around the top so that the water stays in. But, you know, just for safety reasons, just to make sure it doesn't get wet, they put it right in there. And again, that's, in my opinion, just a little bit of extra precaution, but it's a good move. As I mentioned, toilet, this is plumbed into the black tank. Right above that is gonna be your sink. I really do like the airplane style that they utilize here. All I have to do is raise this up. I'm not gonna raise it up too high because there's a little bit of antifreeze in there and I don't want it to dump out because it's sticky and I hate the feeling of it on my hands. But you can see the airplane sink right there. Very functional. I really do like these in Class Bs. I'm starting to see more and more manufacturers go to that, and that makes sense. For space savings, that is brilliant. You'll also see over to this side is our shower control. This shower wand is gonna be right up top there. The thing about this one though is this has the Shower Miser AquaView system. And so essentially what that is that's a cold water or a freshwater recirculation system. So normally, right, when you have, when you're trying to wait for your shower to heat up, you turn it on and you wait and you wait and you wait and all that water is just pouring right down the drain as you're waiting for it to heat up. And if you don't have city water, that's a lot of lost water. Not only is you losing fresh water, it's also filling up your gray tank faster, and neither of those are desirable. So with this system, essentially what happens is there's a recirculation on here where it just keeps going through that system until it gets warm. And then this guy right here, instead of being blue, will kind of be like an opaque white. And that's how you know the water is hot. And then you can flip it so that it, instead of recirc, it comes out the shower head and boom, now you have hot water. So even though it's not instant hot water, you're not wasting hot water. So that is a great system to have on a Class B, especially if you're someone who likes to camp without hookups. You can see here you have a little bit of a net for like your shampoo, soap, things like that. A mirror right up top there in the shower. It's actually super handy, folks. I use a mirror at home. I started, probably too much information, but I started shaving in the shower and man, it's super handy. I don't know, just as if you've never tried it, try it. It's pretty nice having that. Over to the side, we're gonna have a few other things here. Right over to the side, you can see the water pump control here. We also have a spray port as well as a little bit of additional storage. A bank of 3 drawers, just kind of show you a storage size. You can see the hose there for our outside shower, pretty decent storage. And then up here is going to be the main wardrobe. So open that up and you can see right there is your hanging rod. So you have that, good wardrobe space. But like I said, the main thing about this one is just how open this coach truly is. I think that's probably my favorite part about the Swift. And then coming around to the side, there's a few other things here. I'll just show you real quick. So the rest of your hookups, right? You have city water. This one actually is a black tank flush, which I don't see on a ton of Class Bs, so I do like to see that. You also have your electrical outlet there, solar port. You also have a beep little light here in case you're hooking up at night, which man, oh man, I think happens far too often for a lot of us. And then over to the side, your 30 amps attachable power cord, cable inlet, your Truma Aqua Hot system will be right there, propane fill down over here. Now folks, like in all our videos, if you are loving what you're seeing and you want to know how much it is and where you can find one, there will be a link in the description with both price and availability. Simply click on that. What are your thoughts of the Swift though? Do you like it? Do you like the openness? Do you like how mobile it is? Do you like the sleeping capacity? Do you like how light it is? Let me know in the comments, we'll talk about it. Thanks for watching folks, I'm Ian Baker, and until next time, we'll see you.